Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. Boy, I hope it's as beautiful where you are as it is here in Southwest Ohio. Here in the United States, in this part of the United States, the weather today is just absolutely gorgeous. Low humidity, low temp, and beautiful clear skies. It's a lovely day, and a great day for 5-minute Bible study. So let's just get right into it. Today we're looking at Psalm 105. We've been looking at it all this week. Today we're going to do verses 37 through 40, and we're coming to the tail end now of the judgments. Actually, we've seen all the judgments that the psalmist has recorded for us here in this 105th Psalm. Now we're going to see them coming out, and today begins that part of the story. So let me read beginning in verse 37. He brought them forth also with silver and gold, and there was not one feeble person among their tribes. Egypt was glad when they departed, for the fear of them fell upon them. He spread a cloud for a covering, and fire to give light in the night. The people asked, and he brought quails, and satisfied them with the bread of heaven. Seems like there should be a Selah there, doesn't there? To pause and just reflect on that fact alone, that God has done all of this wonderful work for his children in the deliverance that he gave them from the Egyptian bondage. Well, now we saw all of the signs that God did, beginning with the darkness, then the blood, then the fish dying, the frogs. There came flies and lice, hail for rain, flaming fire in their land. The locust came, the caterpillar came. He smote the firstborn. So after that last plague, or that last judgment of God, the death of the firstborn, then the children of Israel spoiled the Egyptians. Moses had told them that they were to go to their neighbors who were Egyptians and ask for jewelry, gold and silver. And we'll find that in the 12th chapter of the book of Exodus. And let's see, I believe it's in verse 35. Verse 35. The children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent on them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. So there in 37, we have a recounting then of what we find in Exodus chapter 12. So the children of Israel did go out with great wealth. And of course, we know this becomes very much needed later on as they construct the tabernacle, because all the gold that they spoiled Egypt with is given in part to construct the Lord's sanctuary, and all the furniture and all the things that were necessary for the priestcraft and all of that. And so this now becomes the time when Egypt sends them out with great wealth, and then they're going to use that great wealth later on to bless the Lord. It says there that in 38, Egypt was glad when they departed, for the fear of them fell upon them. And of course, again in Exodus chapter 12, at verse 33, and the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, we be all dead men. Do you hear the fear there in the voice of the Egyptians? They were scared for their lives. They were afraid. So they sent them out in haste. And so when the Israelis said, give us your gold and your silver, why, the Egyptians, what are they going to do with gold and silver? They're getting ready to die if these people don't leave. So they blessed them with all of that. So again, we have the recounting of what happened with the children of Israel through this deliverance that God gives. So remember, this psalm is in praise of all that he has done. With a strong arm, he brought them out. He blessed them as they went. He gave them the silver and the gold of the Egyptians. The Egyptians were afraid of them. And then in 39 it says, he spread a cloud for covering and fire to give light at night. Exodus chapter 14, we find the cloud and the pillar of fire for the very first time. Now we see it all through the wilderness wandering. This cloud guides them as they go through the wilderness, the pillar of fire by night and the cloud by day. And it was a covering also upon the tabernacle when the glory of the Lord would descend. So we have that mentioned as well. And then finally, here in, let's see, I think it's verse 40. Yeah, it's verse 40. The people asked, and he brought quails and satisfied them with the bread of heaven. That is the manna that he sent down from above. So God's care of his people. He provides for them, he guides them, and he takes care of their every need. Friend, he wants to do that for you as well. I hope you'll join me tomorrow on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.